today we're going to start some subtraction strategies review. There are a lot of different strategies. One of the strategies would be using a number line to count backwards, or if you have the ending number, you can find the difference between the two numbers. Another way is expanded form, and that which will lead us to the standard algorithm. So that's our course for subtraction over the next few days. If at home, you're going to need a notebook. And we're going to do some demonstrations with the different subtraction strategies, but mostly we're going to focus on expanded form. In some cases, there are many of you out there who already understand how to do that, but it never hurts to keep practicing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just practice, or we're going to write number line, because that is a strategy. So I'm going to write in the margin. So for example, if we were doing 428 minus 245. We can do it on a number line. We don't always like to do the number line, but it can be done. Please remember, it is an option. Those of you who spilled, we have two people cleaning it up, but everybody else around needs to stay focused. Okay, so if our largest number is 428, we have to go backwards 245. So if we think about our number 245, I'm going to point that way so I know that way we have to go. What kind of chunks would you take out of there that are easy to use first? Yes, ma'am.
28.
Okay, well, we're at 28.
I mean, wait, yeah, like jump 28, so you're at 400.
Okay, so then 200, what's 245 minus 28?
400. Oh.
Because right here, this is, I want you to think about the 200. Can we jump the 200 first?
No, I thought, never mind.
Okay, so let's jump our 200.
Oh, we're jumping.
I'm going to jump 200. So if I jump this way 200, what number are we at now? I went 200 backwards.
228.
Thank you. 228. Now Millie knows that we got to get rid of this 28, because now all we have left is 45. And that's what I mean. This can be really, really, really hard if we use it this way. So, okay, we have to go back. If we go back 5 minus 5, that takes, what is 228 minus 5? So quiet.
223.
Thank you. So now we took 5 out of there, so now we just have to go back 40. Well, jumping back 40 might be a little more difficult, but we could probably jump back 20. So jumping back, oh, my jumps aren't very even. You're supposed to have even jumps with this. So if I jump back 20, now I'm at 203, and I still have to go 20 yet. Do you notice up on top I'm keeping track of what I have left? And I need to go 20 again. 183. Okay, so that's one way you can do it. There's another way you can do this as well. Like I said, this is kind of cumbersome, but it is a way to do it. Another way to do it is we could start at 245 and we need to get to 428. If I am finding a difference, and this is what research says students don't understand, is that in subtraction you're finding what is different between the two numbers. The difference, what is the space between here and here? And how many of you like to count up instead of counting backwards? I'd rather count up. Okay. So we're going to start at 245 and we're going to just keep going until we get to 428. Do you think that means we're going to count 246, 247, 248 like that? No. We're going to make it easier numbers. So when I look at this, in my mind, the first easy number to get to is 250. So I went ahead 5. What's another easy jump? 50. Oh, that's not I'm very bad at proportioning my jumps. So now I went ahead to 50 and I am at 300. What should I go forward with now? I know some of you would just jump right straight to 428, but we could jump ahead another 100. Now we're at 400. And then we can jump from 400 to 28. We still have to add all these up, but we decided adding is easier than subtracting. Okay, so 8 plus 5 is 13. There, I put my teen part there. 1 10, 5 10s, 2 10s equals 8 10s. So did we end up with the same number?
Yes.
So this is using a number line 2 different ways, but it's a bit cumbersome, isn't it? You can do this. And the second strategy, I'm going to put a red star by it. Taking your largest number and the smallest number you have and finding out the difference, the space on the number line between them can be done. So we're using adding to do subtracting. But what I really, really want to focus on today is called, I'm going to turn my page, is called expanded form subtraction. And it is so close to the way your parents do subtraction that it's easy to transition to it. So expanded form subtraction. If you want to write a minus for that, you can put expanded form and then just put the minus sign.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep. And we've been doing this since December. So for some of you, you know this, and some of you, you don't. But we're going to practice and practice and practice. Very soon, I'm going to have somebody over here. We're going to have 2 of us working on my paper at the same time, so you can see how expanded form and standard algorithm are so much the same. So we're going to just work with 3-digit numbers right now.
Okay, cute.
So let's think of like 462 minus 179. Make certain you have space over here. Ethan, write that down. This is part of the learning. And I know you know how to do standard form, but it's still good practice. A lot of you in here do know how to do this, but this is practice. The more you practice, the faster you're going to get. If we're doing expanded form, that simply means that we're separating out the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. Expanded form would be this, 462. I just simply said this number very slowly. I'm going to do it again. 179. I said it very slowly. If we would put the plus signs in there, that messes with people doing subtraction, so I just don't put the plus signs in there. So thinking about this, we have 2. Can I take 9 things away from those 2 little bitty dots? I need to grab a 10 from somewhere. Where do I grab the 10 from? Jacob.
the tens and the hundreds?
I grab it from the tens first because I have some there. So if I'm grabbing a 10 from the tens column, I no longer have 60. What do I have? 50. Because I took one of the tens and put it over here. I just regrouped it. I moved it from here over to here. So basically now I added 10 over to this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 dots used to be over here. I moved them. Now I can do 12 minus 9. And everybody shout out, what is 12 minus 9? 3. Okay, so now remember base 10 pieces? These things that look like tallies or 11s or whatever, those ones, those are tallies. Those are showing us that those are strips. They're worth 10. I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I can't take 7, or I have 5 of them. I can't take 7 of them away. So I have to grab a 100. Here's my 100s column. I'm grabbing a 100. So if I'm taking 100 away from 400, what's left? 300. I have to add that 100 someplace else. So I'm putting it right there. I now have 150 minus 70. Well, if I start looking at this, I already know 0 minus 0 is 0. So what's left? The 15 minus 7, or in other words, 15 tens minus 7 tens. What is 15 minus 7? Shout it out. 8. Looking at this, oh good, we can do it that way. 300 minus 100 is what, everybody? 200. And now I've got my answer. We have 283. If I say it faster, it's 283. Okay. This time I'm going to have somebody work up here with me where somebody's going to do this as I do this. Remember how we've done this on the board. And I'm going to want somebody with really good handwriting because this is for the people at home. So Kiona, I'm going to have you come over here. She's got better handwriting than I do. And we're going to, what color would you like? Okay. So I'm going to write way squished over on this side. You guys are going to copy what I write, and you're also going to copy what Kiona writes. And we're going to do everything at the same time. Ethan, put the pencil in your hand. Because if you're not looking at your work, it's a toy, and I have to take that. Okay. So this time we're going to do the number 534 minus 278. Okay, so Kiona is going to write that in expanded form. If you don't know, copy what she writes. Okay, so give some of the people a chance to write. That's what I mean. She's got very nice handwriting. Okay, so we just watched the class to see everybody getting done. Some of the people are already figuring it out, but we're practicing standard form with expanded form right now. Is everybody ready? Oh, Anna's still ready. Anna, you ready? Okay. So we're looking at the ones column. In my ones column, I have a 4 and an 8, and so does Kiona. Can we do that? So we have to grab a 10. Where are you going to grab your 10 from? Okay, I'm going to grab my 10 from right here. Watch how we do this. We both are grabbing a 10. We have to regroup. Do you see where my 14 is? Do you see where Kiona's 14 is?
Yeah.
We can now do 14 minus 8. When you so 14 minus 8 is what? Shout out the answer. Thanks. Right now, I want students to learn the procedure. I don't want you to worry about not knowing your facts. Okay, so you see right now we're still doing the same thing. Okay, she's got a 20. I have 2 10s. 2 10s is the same as 20. Okay, so now can you do 20 minus 70? I can't do 2 minus 7. So we have to grab a 100. Watch how we grab our 100. She has 120. I have 12 10s. They are the same thing. She's going to bring down her 0. And now we both have to do 12 minus 7. What is 12 minus 7? Shout it out. 5. Okay, so I have 56. She has 56. Did you see that? Look at the board. Please look at the board right now. Everybody. I know many of you know this, but I want you to make this connection. I have 56. She has 56. You see this? See what we mean? Because when we do the plussing, those make 56. Okay. She's at 400 minus 200. I'm at 4 100s plus 2 100s, or I'm sorry, minus 2 100s, and we both get. Okay. I hope that this is starting to make some sense to you. Now simply we have to practice the procedure to make you faster.
Oh boy.
Kiona did an excellent job. Kiona, would you be willing to do this with us again? Okay. Everybody, we're going to do it another time. Okay, a little bit bigger number. Let's do 847 minus 384. Okay, can I do this one? Okay, and she's going to draw her little lines. Okay, so I'm looking at my ones column. I have 7 minus 4. She has 7 minus 4. Do we have to grab a 10? Do we have to grab a 10?
No.
Why? Because what? Yes, we can take some away. So 7 minus 4 is what?
3.
Okay. Now we're going to move to the next column. I have 4 10s minus 8 10s. She has 40 minus 80. Is that good?
No.
We have to grab a 100. Okay, I'm getting my 100. She's getting her 100. Okay, so I have 14 minus 8. She has 140 minus 80. She can just put her 0 down there. And now we each are doing 14 minus 8. What is that, Ethan?
6.
Yep. I have 7 100s minus 3 100s. She has 700 minus 300. That is what?
400.
Okay. What we're going to do now for the next 5 minutes. Thank you very much. We're going to just simply practice 3-digit minus 3-digit. Those of you out there who already know how to do this, you're going to do it too because getting faster doesn't hurt. I am going to turn the page. If you want to write it the way that Kiona did, actually, I'm not going to write the page, turn the page, so that way you can see it. If you want to write expanded form like this, you can. You do not have to. Some of you already know how to do it without expanded form. But we're going to see how accurate we can be. So people at home, you're going to try this without me telling you and without Kiona writing things down. So this time we're doing 744 minus 586. Work on that, writing it down.
you have to get some more positions. Where do you get it from? Yes. Okay, so grab your 10 points. Three minus 8. Yeah. So we took 10, you got 10 will be divided by 14. Make it a 14. You took 10 away, so that's 30. 14 minus 6.
Okay, I know there was a lot of silence on your end, but we were doing some work. Some people got it very quickly. Other people are still doing a lot of practice with this because this takes practice. So if I'm going to do it as expanded form, I'm looking, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not big enough, so I have to grab a 10. 14 minus 6 is 8. Now I have 30 minus 8. That doesn't work. I have to grab a 100. 130 minus 80. So if I was going to add, we could pronounce it as 158. So if we were doing it expanded, or if you were doing it as standard algorithm, or doing the borrowing, as your parents call it, we went over to our tens column, took 1 away, made it a 3. Now it is 14 minus 6. We went over to the 7. We borrowed 1 because that's how your parents talk about it. 13 minus 8 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Okay. I'm going to flip my paper and you're going to practice one more and then we're getting into our workbook. Practicing this one. I'm still doing 3-digit and you will be getting larger numbers start on next time. So here we go. 921 minus 386. There you go. Work that through. There's going to be some silent time again.
No, I didn't. Oh, last week.
It's too many to do our science experiments outside together.
Okay.
What's that?
How many of you can do? Hold on.
No.
I'll
get
It's too many, so
He didn't
can't
have
do
it
it
all.
outside.
She had it 3 times.
No. That's why we would have to do it outside because of the whole COVID thing, which you're supposed to have your mask on.
No, you said on the top of
Probably examine,
Yeah. All of last week. You said on the
Oh, yeah, that's.
And then you said on the bottom. on Tuesday.
Okay. I have about 3 or 4 students that aren't quite finished with this, but everybody else is. Expanded form looks like this, where it's 921 minus 386. The 1 is not big enough, so I'm grabbing a 10. Adding it to the 1, so now I have 11. Will, please be quiet.
Yep.
11 minus 6 is 5. Now I have 10 minus 80. Doesn't work. I have to grab a 100. Adding it over. 110 minus 80 is 30. 800 minus 300 is 500. If we're doing it as standard algorithm, same procedure. 1 is not big enough, so I have to borrow, like your parents talk, a 1. So 11 minus 8 is 5. So we're in the tens column. We have 10 minus 80, not enough. We're going over to the next column. We're grabbing a 100, putting it into the tens. So now we have 11 minus 8, which is 3. Now we're in the 100s. 8 minus 3 equals 5. 535. 535. If you don't recombine this, your answer is incomplete. You do need to recombine the number. Okay, people at home, I sent the paper that you're working on, or the several papers of worksheets that you're working on. Again, make certain that you have finished pages 136 through 138, and then start working on the packet I sent as you have time. We're going to continue to practice problems, and you can also just generate some random numbers and practice yourself. We'll talk to you again next time. Bye.